What's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016, where we're playing as the WWF in the year 2002, booking our way through the invasion angle as we make our way down the road to WrestleMania. About to make a quick pit stop here at No Way Out. As technically, I guess we are officially at No Way Out, since this heat is supposed to be the, right before the pay-per-view, but details. Either way, we got Heat and No Way Out. Both will be uploaded today, as usual, with the Sunday Night Heat pay-per-view shows and the pay-per-views. And then finally, once we get out of No Way Out, it is time for WrestleMania season. And I'm excited. It's going to be good. Anyway, let's just jump right into this episode of Sunday Night Heat. And let's move on with it as we start off with a 51D+, one hell of a rating. As Sunday Night Heat opens up with the music of Val Venus going off as he makes his way down to the ring. The color commentary team, of course, putting over the departure from the Right to Censor, Val Venus' departure from Right to Censor, and pretty much just the feud in general. Once in the ring, Val goes to grab the mic and he says, "Hello, ladies." As he does, his normal stick. Anyway, he goes, "As much as the big Valboski would love to get each and every one of you his undivided attention, I've still got some unfinished business with a certain pencil pusher. Oh, Mr. Richards, last week you lost the good father, so there's nothing standing between you and me. So get your ass out here and let's end this once and for all." And that leads to the Right to Censor's music going off. Out comes what's left of the group, of course, being Steven Richards and Ivory. And then Richards goes on to say, "Val, you're so pathetic. I built you up to be something more, and yet here you are sinking down to the same degenerate behavior. And now, God knows where you've driven the good father, most likely to a pub." And then Val's response goes, "Hey, if you give me a few minutes, I'm sure I can change Ivory's mind too. I mean, sure, Ivory, you might be up there in age, but the big Val loves to play Cub Eats the Cougar." Whoo boy. And that probably gets a pop out of the crowd if they get the joke. Richards, of course, gets the joke, and he's just in awe and taken aback by what Val just said. And he proceeds to say, "Shut up. You shut your mouth. You could talk to me however you'd like, but how dare you talk to a lady like Ivory like that? You know what? I'm not going to stand for it. So you know what, Val? There's one thing we actually agree on. Tonight, this ends." Richards makes his way down to the ring for our opening match of the night between him and Val Venus. Vince McMahon, of course, passing psychology to Shane McMahon, and heel work to Stephanie McMahon. So there we go. We move on to said opening matchup, which gets a 57C-. Not too bad at all. We have a bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat to it. Steven Richards ends up going over the Big Valboski, Val Venus, with the Stevie kick after a botched interference from the Godfather. Not the good father, the Godfather. Of course, out comes the Godfather. He makes his triumphant return with no button-up shirt, no tie, no slacks. He's got the vest on. He's got the hoe, Miss April, with him. Some random hired girl. He's the full Godfather going on. Unfortunately for him, it backfired. He ended up hitting Val Venus instead of hitting, not really hitting. It's more of a distraction, even though it says botched interference, but that's fine. Anyway, the botched interference leads to Steven Richards getting the upset victory, I guess, over Val Venus. Val is getting better at his gimmick. That's okay. We are going to turn Godfather in this segment, so it could go bad, but then again, I really don't care. Both Val and Steven Richards with a 53 in-ring performance, and let's do this. Let's complete the change. Yes, we do. So Godfather's pimp gimmick got great, which makes sense. It's something he can pull off with no challenge whatsoever. It didn't say... Oh, I think I just did gimmick change. Here we go. Let's complete the turn. And it was a complete success. So Godfather is face now and also a pimp. and we'll probably end up moving on with Val Venus and Godfather being a team. No worker improvements as we jump into our next segment. Jonathan Coachman is backstage alongside Disco Inferno, Das Wunderkid, Alex Wright, and Tank Abbott. Got a 61 solid C here. Jonathan Coachman goes on to say, "Hello, ladies and gentlemen, the coach here, and joining me at this time are the three men who will face Too Cool in tonight's main event. Disco Inferno, Das Wunderkid, Alex Wright, and Tank Abbott." Guys, these past few weeks we've seen you two call out Too Cool on their dancing of all things. And that's when Disco takes the mic and he says, "Don't say it like that, coach." Sure, some may roll their eyes and scoff at the idea of two teams fighting over who's a superior dance duo, but this has gotten personal. Sexay and Scotty are punks who had to bring in their sumo friend just to stand a chance against ya boy and Das Wunderkid. So what did we do? We did them one better. They got a sumo wrestler, so we found former MMA superstar, the Tank Abbott. And you see, coach, MMA is actually a lot like dancing. And trust me when I say, it gets ugly when Tank starts dancing. And he smiles, they probably walk off as Jonathan Coachman tells Jim Cornette, Cole, and Taz, "Back to you." Gained some heat to the feud, so good promo by Disco Inferno there. So we jump into yet another promo here. Oh, I gotta turn them, to be honest. They haven't turned, even though I guess it's being built up, so whatever. Anyway, 51D+. Hardcore Holly's music goes off, and out he comes alongside his newest family member, Spike Dudley Holly. Holly, comes out. He has a mic in a hand. He calls for his music to be cut off, and he goes, "Cut that music and sit down and shut up, because I don't give a crap what any of you have to say. Tonight, they sent me and my cousin out here to face two fools who calls themselves Head Chop. What the hell does that even mean? Either way, it doesn't matter, because my cousin and I are looking to make an impact. And if all it takes is beating up two fools to continue to step up to the Steiners over on Raw, then this is going to be a cakewalk. So let's bring out the fools." And out come a Head Chop as we have a little bit of a pre-match promo beforehand. They technically are supposed to be heels right now. In fact, I should have turned Spike a long time ago during his feud with Billy Kidman, but I didn't for some idiotic reason. But either way, these guys are technically should be heels right now, but I haven't done it yet. Maybe we'll do it in this next one. I think. Never mind. I was going to say I think I can, but wrong. Anyway, solid 64 C rating here for Head Chop versus the Holly family. We have a bout that had subpar wrestling to it and little heat. Hardcore Holly and Spike Dudley Holly end up going over Head Chop in 8 minutes 27 seconds when Hardcore Holly defeats Funaki after illegally using the ropes for leverage. I wouldn't imagine I made this a tainted victory, but I don't see them using the ropes or anything for leverage. In fact, I would have Holly probably kick him straight in the nuts or definitely cheat in some sort of way, but not use the ropes for leverage. Either way, Al Snow carried the match in terms of a ring performance. Spike Dudley is not a good heel, but that's fine. I don't really care. Funaki with an in-ring performance of a 53. Al Snow, of course, like we already mentioned, he carried the match, so he had a solid, or not a solid, I gotta stop saying that anyway, a 66 in-ring performance. Spike Dudley Holly with the lowest in-ring performance of a 49, and Hardcore with the 55. So, even though Head Chop is kind of a project team for me, and a team that I like a lot, I gotta build up Hardcore and Spike. They don't have any momentum, so if I want to make the Holly family work here, which I would, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't make the angle happen if I don't want it to work. I gotta give him some momentum as well. Anyway, Hardcore Holly improving in technical, so he made the best out of his moment. Oh, look at Funaki. Funaki debuted a new spot that showcased his athletic ability. His psychology will be held by being able to use it as a go-to spot in the future. Good for Funaki, man. We then move on to our This Week in the WWF segment, just hyping up, of course, what happened this week in the WWF between Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, Sting, Ric Flair, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Rhino, Taker, and Kane. So, of course, we highlight, the main event between Brothers of Destruction and Austin and Rhino. I couldn't put Jericho and Christian or Rock in here, but most likely their feuds are touched upon as well. And then, of course, the huge main event between Sting and Chris Benoit over the number one contendership to Kurt Angle's championship. So there you have that as we jump into our main event of the night. Gets a 58 C- rating here. A poor match. Tank Abbott and the Boogie Knights going over Too Cool, which is Scotty 2 Hotty, Grandmaster Sexay, and Rikishi. 12 minutes, 5 seconds after Das Wunderkid. Alex Wright beats Scotty 2 Hotty with a bridging German suplex. So good for Das Wunderkid there. You know what? I didn't know he had a bridging German suplex. I was thinking it was something higher, so I just thought of a really cool spot. What if Scotty was going for, like, the worm on Disco or something, and then that's when, like, as he's doing, like, the worm, the actual move, Disco comes up and grabs him while he's on the ground and then hits the bridging German suplex for the win. Either way, the point really here, even though Tank Abbott was the weak link, he was struggling to keep up with everyone else's in-ring performance, I'd have him pretty much take out Rikishi, which will lead to, you know, maybe Sexay going to the top rope and taking a dive off onto both Rikishi and Tank Abbott, maybe on purpose, maybe someone pushed him, I don't know. Either way, I really like the idea of, you know, Scotty not knowing that technically Alex Wright is the legal man. Probably a big schmozz that happened, and then he hits the bridging German suplex as Scotty was going for the worm. Anyway, Disco improving at his gimmick. That's good. Rikishi with a 67 in-ring performance, so he had the best out of everybody here. Grandmaster Sexay with a 61, not too far behind. Scotty with a 53. Tank Abbott with a 41. Alex Wright with a 57, so the best on his team. And Disco Inferno with a 52 in-ring performance. Alex Wright is improving in Rumble. Grandmaster Sexay is improving in Rumble as well. As we end off the show right there, leading in... We didn't even get to see the freaking rating. Why did it skip? I don't remember hitting it twice, but whatever. I'll have to check the rating in a second. As we lead into No Way Out, pretty much. So, here we go. What do we have? Oh, I gotta click it here. We had a 65 solid C rating for that episode of Sunday Night Heat right there. Either way, though, what do we got here? Oh, no! He got injured in his match? How bad? He got a strained rotator cuff, so I'm pretty sure that means he's still going to be going. Yeah, he's fine. He's working through the rotator cuff. That's not too bad. I'm pretty sure it won't even last that long. Drug test fees, good stuff. All right. Let's jump on to everyone's favorite part of the show when we check out our developmental companies. Uh-oh. Looks like Jado got hurt. He's not, there we go. What do we have? In a bizarre story, we have an unconfirmed reports that Alex Wright has picked up a minor injury, a strained rotator cuff, and a 1 in a billion stamp licking accident. Are you kidding me? It wasn't even in the match? He strained his rotator cuff by licking fucking stamps? Oh my god. It wasn't even me. I wasn't even there. Well, Alex Wright's a liar. Anyway, fucking seriously, a 1 in a billion stamp licking accident. How do you strain your rotator cuff licking stamps? Let's ask Alex Wright as he mails his mama a letter back home to Germany saying, "I did it, Mom. I won on Sunday Night Heat. We beat those bastards too cool." Either way, it looks like we are going to be going NWA, HWA, and OVW here. NWA used to be like always killing it, and now they're like never killing it. I wonder if it's because AJ Styles is like working New Japan right now. Either way, we open up the night with a 54 C- rating here as Colt Cabana goes over Tony Stradlin. I don't believe Tony is under developmental with us. I know Colt is, but I don't think Tony is. No, he gets paid by them. Anyway, we then move on to a 36 D- rating here as the Boogaloo Crew, which is JC Daz and Scotty Wren, went to no contest. So no contest here between the Boogaloo Crew and Bad Attitude, which is Rick Michaels and David Young. Then we go on to, of course, Lazarus getting his push. For some reason, NWA loves Lazarus. In fact, out of curiosity, I want to see how often he's actually won. He has won, let's do all years. He has a 10-7 win rate or win-loss record here, with this current year having 8-1 loss. He only had one loss, and it was against Onyx for the NWA Georgia Junior Heavyweight Championship. So Lazarus is getting a push over here. Anyway, like I said, Lazarus goes over James Storm in a 36 D- rating match. We then go to a confrontation angle between Carlito Cool, the NWA Wildside Champion, Sean O'Haire, and Road Dogg Jesse James, which gets a 56 C-. And we then move on to a 45 solid D rating here as Onyx retains his NWA Georgia Junior Heavyweight Championship against American Wildchild. Semi-main event, Carlito Cool goes over David Flair, so a battle of generations here as second generation stars Carlito and David Flair go at it. Solid 41D. And finally, in the main event of the night with a 56 C-, Sean O'Haire retaining his NWA Wildside Heavyweight title against Jason Cross with a 56 C- rating. HWA is next, which got a 50D+ rating here. We open up the night with Steve Bradley going over Cody Hawk with DQ. That got a 25 E rating there. Solid E. Backstage, brawl between D'Lo Brown and Kaz Haishi. That got a 40D-. We then jump into the HWA Cruiserweight Championship match as Yang defeats the unibrow version of Matt Striker, not the teacher version. 46 solid D rating there. And we go to a 53 C- confrontation between Terry Funk and HWA Heavyweight Champion Shannon Moore. Semi-main event of the night sees Mike Sanders go over D'Lo Brown with a 48D+ rating here. And then finally, in the main event of the night, battle between 3 counts as Shannon Moore retains his HWA Heavyweight title against Evan Courageous with a 52D+ rating. And then finally, out of curiosity, Colt Cabana was the MVP of NWA, and there is no MVP, apparently, for HWA. We'll look at OVW last. So we go to OVW, which gets a 52D+ rating here. We open up the night with the OVW Women's Championship on the line, 37D- as Nikita retains over cheerleader Melissa. I think Melissa actually was just a recent hire, so good on her for producing a good match. OVW Hardcore Championship is next as John Cena retains over Mr. Black with a 37D- rating there. So back-to-back 37s. Semi-main event sees Mark Henry and Finley team together to take on the team of Rob Conway and Monty Brown. 51D+ there for them. And then finally, in the main event with a 55 C-, Flash Flanagan pulling up the upset victory. Well, upset if you know who the hell Brock Lesnar is now. Beating Brock Lesnar to retain his OVW Heavyweight Championship. Good on Brock. Who probably had the... Yeah, right there. Performance of the night was Brock Lesnar. Not even a surprise. Alright, so that does it for that. Let us move forward up to No Way Out, which is 3 days away. And much like other pay-per-views, No Way Out will probably be, I think we've been doing like 3 hours or something. We have a decision? Why? I haven't hired anybody. So hopefully this isn't a spoiler or something. Either way, Nitro aired. We got a 45.93. Good stuff there. Kid Cash winning the vacant 3PW Heavyweight Championship. Stampede Wrestling got a broadcasting deal. Oh no, M-Pro here. Michinoku Pro Wrestling has closed their doors. Final champions for Michinoku Pro Wrestling. The Toko Junior Heavyweight Champion was Suji Kondo. The Toko Tag Team Champions were Kenta Kobashi and Kitoshi? I don't know. Kitoshi Saito? Sure. And then finally, their world champion, the UWA World Super Welterweight Champion, was the Great Sasuke. So unfortunately for them, they did go out of business. That's a shame. Anyway, Chuck Palumbo is recovered. Good for him. And Carlos Cabrera staying with WWC. Alright, so Chuck Palumbo's fully fit. What do we have here? Probably someone just wanting a raise. Pay raise from Rick Steiner. We currently pay him $10,000. It's a lot lower than the $17,000. I don't think you're $17,000, but I do think you're about $15,000. So we'll do that, and he's happy about it. So good on Rick. Good on Rick. Okay. Simulate just a little bit further up. And, as usual, get us all the way to No Way Out before we end off the episode. Look at that. Carlos Cabrera, the 3PW. Does he even speak English? He does. I didn't know that. Would be positive influence in most locker rooms. Interesting. All right. I mean, if I needed, like, Spanish announce teams and all that, I would totally hire him, but unfortunately, this is Total Extreme Wrestling, where we don't need stuff like that. In fact, technically, I don't need people like Jonathan Coachman and all that. But whatever. All right, here we are. No Way Out night. Here, New Japan. Satoshi Kojima was the star. Jose Gonzalez is injured. One thing I saw here, though, Ron Killings, who, of course, is R-Truth. He used to work for us for a little while there. We ended up letting him go. Probably will bring him back in the future sometime. He's got some good stats. I figured if I let him go, maybe that'll lead to him, getting better. Not that he's not good already. It's just I have nothing for him. Let's see what he has here. Picked up a bicep tear during his match last night. So how long is it going to keep him out of curiosity? He will be out for 27 days. That's not that bad. Who did he get injured by? It was ECCW here. Main event of the night with a 53C-. Ron Killings was injured. Or maybe not by him. It could have been by his fault. But anyway, was injured in the match against Michelle Starr. And I think that said Michelle. I could be wrong. Either way, though, that's going to do it for this episode. Let's just do a quick check of all our storylines before we end off the episode and move into No Way Out. Billy Kidman and Vampiro with a 71B-. Benoit and DDP with an 89A. Edge and Palumbo with a 77B. Goldberg and Giant with an 82B. These technically are still going. So 54C- for the RTC feud. And 58C- for Too Cool and Boogie Nights. Angle and Sting got a 79 solid B. Lance and Eddie got a 76B-. Lita and Daphne with a 74B-. Power Plant and Canyon and Morris with an 82B. 86B+ for Austin and Rhino versus Vitamin C. 82 solid B for TNA and Steiner Brothers. 73B- for Team Extreme and The Flock. And 86B+ for Rock and Taker. So, all in all, we have a lot of B's here, with the most heat being behind Benoit and DDP, which they don't even really get a match, to be honest. There is a couple things I do kind of want to do before we end this off. As you see, a lot of the pay-per-views have been around 4 hours. In fact, can I make this? Wow, 4 hours is really the most I can do for that. Alright, anyway. This is going to be a 4-hour pay-per-view. The reason I wanted to do this is we are going to have a live major... Oh. Okay. I'm going to have to think about this. I didn't think there was such things as star band and legendary band. So I'm gonna let you guys decide here. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a spoiler for WrestleMania. I am going to technically, I would be having Metallica. I don't know if you guys know who Metallica is. If you don't know who Metallica is, how? Metallica is my decision to be playing live here at WrestleMania 18. The theme for WrestleMania 18 is going to be Unforgiven by them, and of course, I plan on introducing a couple people with new music that will be played by Metallica. I was originally going to do major band, because in my opinion, they would be a major band, but that was before I knew that there were such things as star band and legendary band, so I'm going to let you guys decide. Do you think Metallica would be considered a star band around the time in 2002, or would they be a legendary band? I'm not entirely sure. I can see them being both. I don't know if they quite would have reached legendary status at this time, but don't see why they wouldn't have reached legendary status at this time. That is a lot of money to be paying a band, though, just to show up, whereas we could just do, the regular... That's still a lot of money either way. But, yeah. Either way, like I said, I am going to let you guys decide whether Metallica would be considered a star or a legendary band, and we will go from there. Celebrities, I will most likely bring in a celebrity as well, but I haven't quite decided, so I'm not going to make that a thing yet. Here's the thing. I'm going to wait on No Way Out. I'm going to wait before I make it a 4-hour pay-per-view. Most likely it'll end up being a 4-hour pay-per-view because that's how it's been. I will go ahead and give it 3 hours and 30 minutes. That might be enough for them. But I might end up having to make it 4 hours just because that seems like how it's been with a lot of these shows. Even though it looks like right here we've done 3 hour and 30 minutes, 3 hour and 30 minutes. So who knows? Maybe just maybe, No Way Out can get away with 3 hour and 30 minutes. I don't think it'll do 3 hours. Usually when I try to do 3 hours, I never have enough time. So, and there's a lot of things I kind of want to fit in. So let's go ahead and start 3 hours and 30 minutes for this. And hopefully that's what sticks. If not, I'll let you guys know when we get to No Way Out if it is going to be a 4-hour pay-per-view. Either way, sorry for rambling here towards the end. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor, leave me a comment, like, and subscribe if you have not already. And as always, my name has been OMG, WTF, LOL, FTWBRB. Don't forget to share this video with your friends, your Facebooks, your Twitters, all the social media accounts out there. Whatever the kids are using, share it. Help your channel out, please. Greatly appreciate it. Help the channel grow. Make sure to share this video with, someone that you think may like it. As always, like I say, I'd love to have people who actually like my content instead of just some random trolls showing up. That's it for me, though. Like I said, OMG, WTF, LOL, FTWB here. I will see you guys for No Way Out. So until then, have a good day.